Let's start with a love story. And it's a love story between Mike and Laura. About 10 years ago, Mike's son Jason brought Mike into my office. They came in for a Medicaid planning consultation. And Mike looked at me, and his shoulders were slumped. And his wife, Laura, was hallucinating and seeing people and all sorts of other things. And then he says, I am not going to put Laura in a nursing home. I'm not going to. Okay. And we talked further as he looked distractedly on the desk, and his shoulders were hunched over, and his son's just, turning his head, not knowing what to do. And I said, Mike, how's your stress? Oh, it's terrible. And he's this Irish guy, with the very slight comb over, and the head gets really red when he gets upset. And it started turning red, and he said, oh my God, the stress is bad. And she gets up in the middle of the night, and she wanders, and I don't know if she's going to be off on the street. And then every time we're driving, she sees her mother and her grandmother on the sidewalk. Her mother's been dead for 25 years. And then I tell her she's not there, and 1 minute later, do you know what happens, Ben? What, Mike? She's there. She sees them again. Yes, that's because she has Alzheimer's disease. And she doesn't have any short-term memory. And he says, that's just terrible. And I said, if your stress is this bad, do you think you're going to outlast your wife? And he goes like this. I go, can you help your wife if you're dead? Silence. And I said, look, you need to make the change from being the caregiver to being the advocate. You're not the one that dresses your wife in the morning. Somebody else is. You're not the one who helps your wife with her activities of daily living, bathing, eating, dressing, transferring. Somebody else does. But you are the best person in the world to make sure that it's done right. Your 3 children love your wife, but you are the primary one. Okay, he says. So we do the Medicaid planning. I'm able to under a rule that's no longer available. I get to save his house. We save him probably about high 6 figures assets. Some of you say, well, that's Medicaid planning, that's all going to the kids, it's all bad, all of those things. So I'll explain that in a minute. So fast forward a little bit, he gets it all done, the acceptance letter comes in, Medicaid in Illinois wasn't as evil then as they are now, and it goes okay. So now Laura's in the nursing home on Medicaid, and he's able to now spend time with his kids. He was this 50s father. Everybody had the father that worked in the 50s. Not everybody, but some of you. And it was just work, work, work. Mom raised the kids. Children are better seen than heard. Actually, I'd like to apply that to my children now, but that doesn't work. He didn't have as close of a relationship with his children as he wanted, but all of a sudden, when he wasn't doing the caregiving, he started spending time with his 3 children and going to the birthday parties for the grandchildren and going golfing with his buddies, who, since I did the Medicaid planning, came in for estate planning, and got his life back and was able to make sure that Laura got good care. And everything was fine for 2 years until I got a phone call. But I remember it was in the fall day, and the leaves on the trees started just falling, and the phone rings, and I saw his name on caller ID. And you love some of the clients when you actually